Toy Story 5 was good. Honestly, surprisingly good. I kind of expected it to be a cash grab sequel, but this franchise is surprisingly consistent. If you just want a spoiler-free review, that's it. I think it's better than Toy Story 4, worse than Toy Stories 1 and 3, and probably about on the level of 2, although I do have a lot of nostalgia for 2, so bear that in mind. And yes, I cried in this one. I sobbed like a little baby. That's true of basically every Toy Story except for 4, but it's nice to see that it's consistently hitting the emotional high beats. Diving into more specifics while still trying to keep things spoiler light, this was a Jessie movie, which is something that the trailers didn't really make clear. It seemed like they really focused on Woody and Buzz, and like, that makes sense. You can't really make a Toy Story without Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. But honestly, they, especially Woody, really feel superfluous to the story. Like, I think they could have not had Woody come back to Bonnie's house, and the story would have played out mostly the same, with only maybe a couple of minor adjustments. Buzz does at least have an arc. He's trying to propose to Jessie. It's pretty cute, his whole, like, hesitation and stuff, and the way that they frame it around Bonnie's play weddings, and how the hedgehog is an ordained, possessed minister, and all this sort of fun stuff. But really, the emotional core of the movie, and most of the plot and character development and focus, is on Jessie, which is kind of cool. You know, the other Toy Stories have all really focused around Woody. Even Toy Story 2, where Woody is sort of separated from everyone else and Buzz gets its own major subplot, I do think the emotional core is on Woody and sort of deciding to be a kid's toy rather than in a museum. So, like, it's kind of interesting to see another character be the focus, although this does come at the cost of basically every other familiar face aside from Bullseye is written out of the movie pretty early on. Lilypad, the sort of antagonist of this film, ends up getting them all put in the garage, and they kind of just don't have a role. Aside from, I mean, Buzz and Woody are there, but Woody is mostly there for old man jokes, and Buzz is there for his sort of wanting to propose to Jessie character arc, but everyone else is just sort of a non-factor, and it's mostly about Jessie and her sort of meeting these tech, like big tech is sort of the antagonist, while specifically it's Lilypad, the sort of, the teachy-typey machine thing. Big tech in general is making the age of toys go extinct, and everyone is spending time on screen time. And I expected it to be sort of a very boomer-esque technology bad movie, but it's more about learning that both tech and toys are important. Imaginative play is very important, but also showing the advantages of these sort of technological things where Bonnie, the main kid, is able to make a friend only through technology. But not only through technology, like through technology and through play, because play is important, but so is, existing in a modern world, not just going Amish and going boomer phone bad. So that was a relief. I expected it to be a very tech bad, Lilypad is evil, but she gets a sort of redemption arc thing, like when she realizes, oh, I didn't do the right thing for Bonnie. There is sort of the Lilypad redemption arc and everyone working together, and sort of accepting tech and toys, and that's pretty cool. It's sort of similar to Gabby Gabby from Toy Story 4, except for done well instead of done poorly. I didn't really like Gabby Gabby as an antagonist. But yeah, overall, if you, like me, were sort of hesitant to see this one, thinking, oh, they're just, reviving a corpse, kind of like Shrek 5, which looks like it's going to be awful. This is not that. This is a surprisingly good movie and a surprisingly consistent series. I don't think there's a bad Toy Story. I think they're all really good, and I think that they sort of strike a good balance between mining nostalgia while also not just existing for nostalgia's sake. This isn't the Mario movie where it's like, oh, look, it's Mario, I recognize him, I know Woody, I recognize Buzz. Like they don't do, I don't know, they don't make a Toy Story if they don't have something to say about it, and that's pretty cool. Also, shout outs to the suspiciously silent Bunny and Ducky because they couldn't get Key and Peele back. So that's, that was funny. Funny thing to notice.